Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Carol Baskins here with a very special message for Matt Wallace of the Final Standing. You may think you're on top right now with Tiger King coin, but you have not, I repeat, not seen or heard the last of my one and only cat coin. With all other coin offers, with such perks as elite access to live walkabouts and conversations with me, Carol Baskin, and my crew of big cat lovers and keepers, discounts and first access to new merchandise and activities, and so much more. Our future plans include a big cat metaverse for virtual visits with the one and only me, Carol Baskins. So keep that in mind, Matt Wallace of Final Standings, next time you hashtag TKing. Because every move you make and every step you take, Catcoin will be watching you. Good evening, folks. This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live. What is going on this Monday night. Yes, the day after the 4th of July, of course, Independence Day, and we are here to do it to it. Just a little cold opener with you. Thought you guys might get a kick out of that. And we have such a fun show lined up for you tonight. With some absolutely ridiculous and awesome and interesting things to share with you. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring on a man with a plan since 2014. It's the one and only Dogecoin millionaire, Nick Ballz. How's it going, Nick?
Actually, Steven, this is Joe Exotic, and
oh my God,
I am so sorry, Carol, God damn it, Carol Baskins, I cannot believe you did this to me. I will never financially recover from this.
You know, Joe, I didn't think you were going to make an appearance on here. I already talked to Steele, and he told me that he gave me exclusive access for a cameo on tonight's show. This is just an absolute outrage that I wasn't notified that you were going to be here tonight.
Steven personally invited me on this show. I don't know what, I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is an outrage. This was supposed to be my moment with Catcoin.
Carol, as soon as I get out of jail, I'm coming for you.
Guys, let's just try to work it out. Carol, I thank you for coming. I thank you for your cold opener, and I appreciate it. But right now, we're just going to have a little bit of a chat with the Tiger King himself. So you've been in the slammer for a bit. How you holding up, Tiger King?
Well, Steven, I'm doing pretty good. I've been locked up on false allegations.
Right.
I cannot believe it, but I've come out with my own cryptocurrency, and we're doing pretty well with it. It's going off pretty well.
Yeah, I see that. Are you excited about this new project?
I'm very excited. We have the endorsement of Matt Wallace from the Final Stand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've heard about this. He's a very large content creator on the YouTubes. And I'm extremly happy to have him.
Yeah, I bet you are. We're definitely familiar with Matt Wallace of the Final Standings here on this community. So it seems to be doing pretty well since he's been talking about it. And in fact, now Newsweek, as of today, Newsweek is talking about your coin in part thanks to Matt Wallace.
Yeah, I saw that article. It was very good. It was a very good article, and we do get the Newsweeks here in prison. Flipping through them. Yeah. I'm very impressed with what Matt has to say.
Yeah. So when you get out, because it seems your attorney seems to think he's got some really compelling evidence in your favor. When you get out, what's the first thing that you're going to do, Tiger King?
Well, as we all know, Stephen, Donald Trump really screwed me on this one. As soon as I get out, I'm gonna go straight back to the animal rescue and get my cats back. First things first, get the kitties back.
Yeah. Do you miss do you miss your attire and your elaborate wardrobing since you've been locked up, Tiger King?
I do, but I've really gotten used to the orange. I'm kind of liking the orange colors in here. I might even, as soon as I get out, I might start bringing that into my wardrobe.
Oh, I could see that. Well, you're kind of a flashy guy. You're an eccentric guy, and that bright orange in the prison colors, it's very bold. It's a very bold look, just like you, Tiger King.
It is. As soon as they let me have sequins in here, Steven, I'm going to do this thing up.
There is a common phrase in a term in the crypto world that says "to the moon," which basically means is kind of a vernacular for putting the market value of a crypto exponentially high. Would it be safe to say that Tiger King coin is not only going to the moon, but to Uranus?
Oh, we're going deep inside Uranus, baby. We're bringing the coin all the way there. I'll haul it there myself if I have to.
Yeah. So
safe to say, Stephen, that I will financially recover from this one, but probably not Carol Baskins. She's going to take me down for good.
So, do you think Carol is the real? I don't know how else to put it. Murderer?
It's safe to say yes. I believe so. And you know what? If anyone is going to be shorting the Tiger King coin, I believe it's Carol Baskin.
I almost want to do the whole show this way now.
We could, Steve.
Seriously, you told me on the fly because all I did is I texted you right before the show. I said, just a heads up, I'm doing a Carol Baskins cold open, so don't be too caught off guard. You just texted back, well, can I do my Tiger King? And I'm like, if you got one, but your Tiger King's pretty good, Nick. You definitely, you definitely,
I didn't think I could go that long.
Yeah, you definitely exceeded my expectations on that. It's really tempting to do the whole show as me as Carol and you as Tiger King. It's once you start, it's hard to break out a character between those two.
Let's if the Tiger King coin goes anywhere, we should.
Yeah.
Let's plan it.
Dumpstar starting things off with a super chat for $5.69. Thank you so much, Dumpstar. Appreciate that. How can one tip you for some upcoin for this fabulous content instead of this fiat super chat? I'm down with that. I guess I
need a wallet for it, right?
Yeah, so I guess I would just have to. I think I can store upcoin in a trust wallet, so I just have to copy paste that contract number. I currently don't own any upcoin because I'm financially kind of what's the word? Yeah, tapped at the moment. So I'm just not in a position to be making a lot of new investments at this time. But I could get that number. I could dial it in for you, and I'd more than happy to receive some upcoin tips. So thank you for that, Dumpstar. That's a great username, by the way.
We should both get upcoin addresses. I don't have one currently, but you and I should both get them.
Why not?
Yeah.
And speaking of which, you guys, I have confirmed Upshot for the show on Friday. This Friday, that is the 9th. So Upshot will be our special guest here on Friday night. So definitely put that in your books, and definitely want to join us for that one. Nick, how long have you had this Tiger King persona? How long have you been doing a Tiger King voice? Did you just make that up, or is it just something you kind of?
5 minutes ago. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. When you started talking, I was like, yeah, that's actually a pretty good Tiger King, man. So
I told you I wanted to be a voice actor when I was a kid.
Yes, correct. And yes, that's right. I want to talk to you about that in a moment. Bang Stun says, wait, you can already tip Steven and Doge, right? Yes, you can. My Doge wallet number, my Doge wallet address is in the description of all my videos. So if you just open up the description of this video, my Doge wallet address is in there. So if any of you tip me in either, whether it's Dogecoin or Upcoin or whatever, just make sure you tell me who you are, so I can thank you and give you a shout out for sure. So
Bankston actually asked a very valid question, and I think this is why a lot of people, or Upshot, got a lot of backlash because people are like, why aren't people using Doge for tipping as it was originally intended? And I'll tell you why. It's actually because back in the day, when Doge first came out, believe it or not, it was easier. Now, granted, you can still just send somebody Doge from one wallet to another. A lot of people have their Doge on exchanges. Most have it on Robinhood, which you can't send it from Robinhood to tip anybody. So those people are excluded, which is a huge percentage of the market. And back in the day, there used to be something called Doge tip bots, and they existed on pretty much major site. There was a Facebook Doge tip bot. There was a Reddit Doge tip bot. Before it was Twitch, it was Justin TV. They had a Doge tip bot, and it was essentially a auto wallet that connected through websites. So you'd almost have like a Doge wallet on Facebook, and you'd have your own Doge wallet on Twitch. Mm-hmm. And those have gone the way of the dinosaur. Those don't exist anymore. So it's a lot harder to tip people on platforms with Dogecoin. Now, I would love to see, and I'm sure, gosh, I don't know why they haven't done it. YouTube should integrate crypto tipping. Not just, I mean, I'd love to see Doge, of course, but just like general, maybe pick the top, whatever, 5 or whatever it may be, that have fast, like you couldn't do it with Bitcoin, to be honest, because it just moves so slowly. But you could do it with Dogecoin and a few others that have really fast transaction speeds. So I don't know why YouTube hasn't done that, but they should, because they could be making a killing off that right now.
Yeah. I agree. I think you raise a lot of good points. Why don't we talk about, just for a little bit there, when Upshot started taking, it seems like people have cooled out a lot more now, but when Upshot first announced his coin, his Upshot coin, there were definitely some skepticism, which is understandable. Like, I get that. And one of the main contentions some people still levy against him for that coin is that its primary utility is tipping, which people see as in competition to Dogecoin. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think really what happened with Upcoin and that whole rollout from Upshot was just the worst possible timing that you could have had. Mm-hmm. It wasn't put out correctly. Mm-hmm. I think he could have done a lot of things better or differently. I think it's a good idea, like the concept of it. Yep. I don't necessarily like the fact that it's on on the BSC chain, but hey, you want to put some out there and it's easy and it's cheap to do, so that mm-hmm. That makes sense for him. I think. Yeah, I think it could have been done. It could have been executed a little bit better, and the timing of it was a little bit better. I wish people, guys, if I don't know if Matt Wallace is listening or Upshot is listening or any of the big guys are listening. Like, I wish I could get paid as a consultant to tell people, like, just like, come ask my opinion. Like, you don't have to take my opinion, but I do have if I have anything, it's a knack for timing. And timing is really like 90% of the battle. So if please, if you're a large content creator and you're listening to this and you have a question, or you're going to roll something out, or you're going to do something, hit me up. I'll help. I would love to help you out. And I guarantee 99% of what could possibly go wrong is probably just the timing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. And I know that Upshot did release a pretty good follow-up video addressing a lot of people's concerns about it. And he was pretty clear that he purposely made a ton of the supply. I forget what it is specifically on Upcoin, but it's purposely really high so that it that's another main reason why it would never be in direct competition with Doge, I don't think, and I
think it's less than most BSCs though.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know, man. There was a lot. I don't know what the exact amount. I'd have to look it up, but it was a lot.
I'm sure it's in. I think it's in the quadrillions, but I don't think it's like hundreds of quadrillions, if I remember correctly.
I mean, quadrillion, 100 quadrillion.
Yeah. Where does it end?
I mean, listen to us. I mean, we're kind of splitting hairs at that point.
Oh, here we go. Total supply. What is? I can't even count these zeros. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 zeros. 500. Is that 500 quadrillion?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that right? I think it's 5. That's a million. Or wait, that's a million, 10 million, 100 million, billion, 10 million, 10 billion. I think it's actually 500 billion. It's not that bad.
Well, you really gotta familiar yourself with the art of zero counting and calculating in the altcoin universe. Yeah, definitely. But so yeah, the big news going in. So we got this Tiger King coin. Matt Wallace kind of comes out of nowhere with endorsing Tiger King coin to a lot of mixed reactions, a lot of colorful reactions. And a lot of and a good amount of support too. As we saw the Tiger King coin make a sharp rise in market value after he started talking about it. From what I understand, he did address this head on in a video that he made earlier today, where he basically just said, look, I just felt this is a solid investment. I'm not being paid. I just put in a very sizable investment because I genuinely think it's going to do well. And then he said in the long term as well, I guess my only real point of contention with it is I'm not sure if this is going to be a good long-term thing. I think there's a pretty good probability that there's good short-term money to be made on the Tiger King coin. I'm not so sure on long-term. I mean, we'll see. You never know in this crazy crypto world, but it is what it is. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is how I feel about it, Steven. I've known Matt for a little bit now. I don't have any problem with Matt. I think Matt's a good kid, and he has a very, very large following, and he's a very, very young guy. He's not always going to make the right moves as far as what kind of content he puts out there. He's going to screw some stuff up. I don't think this was necessarily a screw up. I think he looked at this token, let's call it, it is what it is, it's a token. And he saw a potential for upside. And by the way, guys, whoever is in, if you're in the chat, you've been watching Matt Wallace, if you just recently started watching him or you started watching him when Doge took off, you might not realize that he's been doing videos about other cryptos before he was doing Doge content for a long time, but he was always doing other crypto content too. So I think people have come to know him as the main Doge guy, but he covers much more than that. But I think him putting his stamp of approval on something now has a lot more weight to it because of the amount of followers he has. And him being a young guy, I don't think he's fully realized that yet. Do I think Tiger King coin or whatever can do well? Yeah, in the short term it could. But again, I feel the same way you do. I don't know if it's going to be a good long-term investment. I would tend to lean on the side of probably not. But that's just my opinion. What do I know?
Well, yeah, I agree, and just kind of dovetail off of what you said there. There are substantial reasons to believe that the Tiger King coin could go on to do well in the next, I don't know, let's say 6-month window or so, because there is this massive motion picture, Tiger King motion picture coming out starring Nicolas Cage, and who better to play the Tiger King than Nicolas Cage of any big classic actor? I mean, of course it had. Nicolas Cage is like the ultimate casting move there. And then there's going to be a Tiger King television series starring Kate McKinnon and some really other big stars on that too. So there's going to be, and then there's the possibility, and I'm not the one to consult on the details of his legal case going on. I'm not the one, but in the event that he were to get freed from prison, obviously that would be the biggest news in the Western world for like at least a couple weeks. And
did you watch the show?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So his case is really, really shaky. I mean, the guy that he supposedly paid to have her killed or whatever was like, he had the, he mentally wasn't there. He had like the intellect of a child.
Mm.
So, and he knew this. I don't know. I'm pretty confident that he's not going to serve his full sentence. That's for sure. But yeah, I could see him getting out.
Josh Randell disavows coming in with a generous $20 super chat. Thank you for that, Josh Randell. Appreciate you, man. He says the hater comments on Upshot's Upcoin rollout were surprising to me. One thing is for sure, Upshot deserves respect. He's definitely earned it. I think that's a pretty solid super chat, don't you think, Nick?
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I think, Upshot is, again, just like Matt. And by the way, people who aren't on Twitter wouldn't know this, but, Matt and Upshot have had their disagreements, right? But they're both good guys at heart. Mm-hmm. They're both genuinely good people who put out good content. Matt puts out a little bit more clickbaity type content than Upshot does, but that's his shtick. That's what he does. Upshot puts out, reassuring, kind of calming news stuff and graphs and charts, and I like that. I like what Matt does too. They're both genuinely, they're not bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so funny, and this is why I say that, like, consult me, because timing is everything. It was not a day before Upshot put out Upcoin that him and Matt were getting into it on Twitter about Shiba. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just timing. It's just you got to know when is the right time to strike with some of these, more diversive, stories. You just got to time it right.
Yeah, and a lot of it's how you see things. Like, how I'm trying to figure out how to word this right. Where, so Matt has been putting out. He was the first person to really do Doge-centric content on a daily basis. Anyway. And he's done a lot as far as gaining attention and traction for Dogecoin. And so it's possible, you guys, to still support everything he does and continues to do for Dogecoin. You don't have to agree with him on everything he gets behind,
Exactly.
You don't have to do that, number one. And number two, there's an old saying that goes, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So and also another saying that goes, don't let perfect be the enemy of good, right? So let's try not to get too caught up in our differences between, Matt or Upshot or what we're doing here. Let's just all try to keep in mind that, we all have some very big common objectives, and that is for the sustainability and growth and ascendance of Dogecoin. And we're all playing our role with our own vibes, our own personalities, our own kind of ways of doing it. And, I understand that some people, they don't really like Matt's delivery and his approach, and so they come here. I get that, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, I have nothing against Matt for the way he does his show. You know what I mean? And it's it's the same with Upshot.
They've both put in so much work. I don't think anyone really realizes, other than maybe you, Steven, how much work these two have put into the Doge community as together. Which is funny when I see them kind of arguing on Twitter or something, because only Upshot and Matt Wallace and you know what it's like to put in the kind of hours it takes to do this every day.
Yeah.
Somebody asked this guy, I've never seen this guy in here before, maybe you have Buck 1685 asks, hey Nick, how do they start these coins up so quick? No mining or anything to back them up? And I'll tell you, all of these tokens, they're not coins, they're tokens. All of these tokens are, so far that we've been talking about. Tiger King, I think, is actually ERC20, which is on Ethereum, but
yep.
Upcoin, Shiba, all of these other ones are BSC. They run on the BNB Binance Smart Chain. So they're being mined off of the Binance Smart Chain. So they're collectively mined together through the Binance Smart Chain. It doesn't take individual, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't take individual miners to keep them afloat, because it's a smart chain. Mm-hmm. So they're all being, it's actively mined by, mining pools of miners who are keeping the chain together and coalesced. And the simplicity of the Binance Smart Chain allows for the creation of new tokens to be mined, new tokens to be created every second. I mean, there's new tokens created every day, hundreds. So that's the downside to having a smart chain like ERC20 or the BSC smart chain, is that you open a window essentially to unlimited token creation, which is why Papadogio does not want to create a smart chain within the smart contracts for Doge. Because we don't want Doge to become the catalyst for 1 million poo coins, essentially.
Right. And it was on this show that Papadogio himself revealed that he thought, what is the name of the company that's eluding me right now that does smart contract integration?
I know exactly.
It's right on
Flare.
Yeah.
Flare.
He revealed, it was on this show that it broke, that Papadogio, one of the primary developers of Dogecoin right now, revealed that he was not in favor of Flare Network. In fact, he compared Flare Network as a company to that of a Ponzi scheme. And I had to ask him 3 different times, because I know English is his second language, French is his first, that I had to make sure. I'm like, you're talking about the Flare Network, right? And he said, yeah, under no ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah, he's definitely referring to the Flare Network on that. And that was really surprising news, not only to me, but many of the viewers, and then many people on Twitter when I announced it there as well. So since then, Nick, Papadogio has been basically working on development on his own end to do what Flare Network would have done, right?
Kind of, sort of. So, okay. Flare would essentially, and it would work. It wouldn't just be Doge; it would be a bunch of other things too.
Yeah.
But Flare would wrap whatever coin you sent them into their F asset class, which would allow Flare to control the crypto that you send them. They're promising F asset rewards for allowing them to hold your crypto. But I'm not a software engineer. I'm not a computer engineer. But from what I understand, and Papadogio has looked at their proposal, and it's on extremely shaky ground, security wise. Like it is, they could be operating with good intentions. But the ability to hack this Flare network and take everything is possible. You would lose everything. And, I just don't see it being a win for anybody who's holding Doge to send, like, for example, with Coinbase, with ETH, right? You can stake your Ethereum now for Ethereum 2.0 later, right? That is kind of a win-win because you're essentially getting an upgrade. But with Flare, you're getting an unknown F asset for allowing them to stake. So it's just very unknown. I don't trust it. I wouldn't do it personally, and I would have a lot to gain from it, but I personally just wouldn't do it.
Gotcha. So in other news, let's talk about some of these ransomware attacks that have been going on throughout crypto and the effect that it's having, and the effect that it may have going forward. What do you know what's going on in this regard?
Well, it's an attack that came from Russia. From what I understand, the attack mainly affected businesses, a lot of doctors' offices, a lot of businesses, and the total demand was for 70 million in Bitcoin, which is like really in the grand scheme of things, it's like that's not that much. $70 million is like in Bitcoin, it's like nothing. It all comes down to timing, right? The market was just getting its freaking legs back. We were just, it seemed like everything was kind of stabilizing. Then this has to happen. It's like, dude, I wish these ransomware guys would just like come up to like, I don't know, Vitalik or something, be like, hey man, I need 70 million. Here you go. Don't cause all this trouble. Like the crypto markets were just getting back on track. Everything was going okay. This is like the last thing we needed. I think it'll pass. I'm already seeing correction. We're up 1.5%. Bitcoin's almost up 1%. The Doge is actually recovering better than most, but it's just timing. It's bad timing.
Yeah, really bad timing when you think about, especially the decisions that the Chinese government's been making, and then with these ransomware attacks, and then Barry Silbert, and plus the corporate media FUD on all this stuff in regards to their thoughts on crypto. So it's just an accumulation of a bad storm that's all kind of come together that we are still seeing the fallout from right now. But I think we're going to pull out of this long term, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think if we can get over the fact that China, is doing all this craziness, like that's a major nation state that's putting hundreds of billions of dollars at risk. That's if we can get over that, we can get over pretty much anything. Bang Stun actually just asked, maybe the CEO of Robinhood was involved with the ransomware attack. He's being currently, not personally, Robinhood is being fined exactly $70 million, which I think is interestingly hilarious.
Yeah.
that would occur. That is a interesting conspiracy.
It'd be better if they were fined $69 million.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet Vlad would appreciate that. From what I've heard and what I've read recently, they took his cell phone.
Vlad's cell phone?
Yeah, the SEC yoinked Vlad's cell phone.
Oh, wow.
This can't, and that's another thing. People are like, you know, they claim to be gearing up for a IPO, which has been, you know, talked about for forever now. And I can't imagine that would be happening anytime soon, because there's no way that, you know, there again. This is a perfect, you know, example of timing. They probably have a PR firm working for Robinhood right now, and I'm sure if an IPO is involved and the type of money that they're looking at is involved, there's no way they're going to launch an IPO while their CEO's cell phone is being fondled by the SEC.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So we know that the main ransomware attack right now is from like basically a Russia cyber gang, right? Russian cyber gang called, I think they're called Reveal, but they spelled funny. It's like the word
Reveal in rubles.
Rubles, you say. It's spelled with like the word evil in it, which is it's something. Do you think they'll get away with this, Nick?
I honestly hope they do. I hope they do, and it just blows over. Give them the 70 million. If it was 70 billion, I'd say no way. But $70 million, Elon, I don't know. Somebody just pay these guys, get them off our backs, whatever. I'll help out. Jesus, all right.
But don't you think that would set a precedent for it to keep happening over and over again?
They'd really have to look. I think realistically, we'd have to look at what they used to what they used to attack these machines. I can guarantee you it was like some sort of spam email, you know, and this is kind of a sidetrack story, but it is kind of involved. I used to work for a trucking company, and we had two owners. They were brothers, and the one brother was the owner. It was like the primary owner, and he was like the tech guy, very smart guy. He did all the computer stuff. He set everything up. He ran the servers. His other brother was the outside salesman.
Right.
He was like got drunk, and he'd look at porn on his computer.
Oh my gosh.
His work computer.
Oh
and
my
one
gosh.
day we came into the office, and all of our computers were just like booted. We could and then we got them to fire up, and then a ransomware thing popped up, and it's like this was in the early days too, and they wanted Bitcoin. All the computers in the entire office were like, scrolling this thing like, send us 70, it was, I don't know, it was $1 million or whatever in Bitcoin. And in their offices were on the other side of the building, and you just hear all the way at the other end of the building, God damn it, Jim, with the porn again. And the owner of the company had to walk into our office and be like, I'm sorry guys, I screwed up. Sorry about that. So I guarantee you it's like, this is how this happened. It wasn't like written into software. It was probably a phishing email. Guarantee it was like a phishing email, and some dumb CEO wanted to increase the size of his libido or something like that. It got a whole bunch of people. I guarantee you that's how it went down. So you can try to prevent attacks like this, but ultimately it's just like, don't be stupid.
Yeah. So that's so funny, Nick, that and you have some experience with having a similar experience with this on a much smaller level in a former place of work. So I would agree with you. I would tend to agree when it comes down to it. That probably was the porthole that allowed this to happen. Is some CEO clicking on something naughty.
100%. I guarantee it.
And oh my god,
it's funny too because it majorly affected like plastic surgeons. Like it was a lot of plastic surgery offices that got hit. So I guarantee you it had something to do with like all those guys are like, when they're not doing boob jobs. They're, driving Ferraris and hooking up with ladies of the night.
Right.
Doing all sorts of things. Maybe I'm just watching too much Sopranos. I don't know.
No, I that really is how it be out there. Guys, you're listening to your man, Real Deal Steele, coming to you live this exciting Monday night with my man, Dogecoin millionaire, Nick Ballz. Listen, if you haven't pressed thumbs up, take a split second of your time and do that. It really, really helps out the channel. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you and invite you to subscribe. We've got an awesome community here we've been building for a little over 2.5 months now, and it just keeps getting better every day. Would love to have you join us in our community. And lastly, we now have memberships available in 3 tiers, and information on how to become a member. It's simple to become a member. You just click the link pinned at the top of the chat, and then that unlocks the features. And then if you feel compelled to super chat anytime throughout this show, that's obviously hugely appreciated for my time and efforts. And feel free to ask whatever questions or leave whatever comments for myself and or my co-host Nick here. Nick, unrelated. And this is something I wanted to talk to you about earlier, but we got on some other things. When you were a kid, you had a dream of becoming a voiceover actor for Adult Swim on the Cartoon Network. Is that right?
I'm sorry, I missed it, Steven. What about Adult Swim?
What?
You cut your
Oh,
mic
because
was
Discord?
cracking up on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had a childhood dream that you wanted to become a voice actor for Adult Swim on the Cartoon Network. Is that right?
I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you kind of expound on that? Because I remember you shared part of the story with me, but I just found it to be fascinating and hilarious how far you got with this thing.
When I was a kid, when I had a deep voice as a child, and I could fluctuate my voice and I was doing voices as a little kid. I used to do lifestyles of the Robin Leach. I don't know why. Probably because it was on TV when I was 5 years old. I do it Robin Leach all the time and a whole bunch of other voices. This was way, I was way young, and I was just doing voices all the time. My problem was I grew up with my tongue is too big for my mouth. So I had to go to speech therapy when I was a kid, and my jaw had to grow to fit my tongue. So I always had I had a little bit of a lisp. I still kind of do when I was a kid. So I had to overcome that, and in overcoming that, I was practicing doing these voices all the time because it was practice for me to work through my speech impediment. And I just loved doing voices. I don't know. I watched The Simpsons all the time, and I loved cartoons. I loved the idea of voicing a character where you didn't have to be seen, but people knew what your sound was or whatever. And so yeah, when I think I was 12 or 13, I would call Cartoon Network. I found the offices that were headquartered in Georgia, in Atlanta, Georgia, and I would call there every single day. And it's so funny because it actually got me ready for a career in sales.
Right.
I didn't know that I would be doing that for a job, but it made after thinking about it makes sense because I would just call them. I'd get off of school. I was supposed to be doing my homework, but my job was to get off of school and call Cartoon Network 3 or 4 times until they told me nobody was there. So I'd do that. I'd get off school, call Cartoon Network, and I did that for months before anybody would talk to me. And then finally, I got a meeting.
How old were you? How old were you when this was happening?
It's 12 or 13.
Oh my gosh. So every day after you got home from school, you would just start calling the Adult Swim studios.
Yep. Yeah, until I figured out who was in charge.
What would you say when you call every day?
Oh, dude, I would get, first you have to find the number, then you have to find the number to the you have to get through the operators. They call them gatekeepers. So you get to, then after a few weeks of getting to know who the gatekeepers were, then I got to, I made a list. I wrote down the names of the people that the operators would transfer me to that weren't in the right department. So I knew who not to call. Or I would make a little note, this person in this department, they're nice to me, so I could use them to find more names of people that worked in the right departments. I would just do this every day until finally, I got a hold of I don't even remember his title, but I remember the call. Once I finally got to the right person, I remember the call, and it was it went like a typical, how you would imagine a Hollywood meeting would go. It was me talking to 5 guys on a speakerphone. I could tell that they were on I was talking onto a speakerphone.
Wow. So you got on a conference call meeting with some of the creative directors or whatever of Adult Swim.
Yeah. And I you know what? Now that I think about it, and again, another thing comes down to timing. There was a show that came out. I don't know if you ever watched it. It was called Adventure Time.
Yes.
It became very popular. Man, this was right before that. I mean, it was several years before that came out. But I would have been freaking perfect for that. I'm sure it hadn't even been, it was probably just getting started or hadn't even been created yet. But man, that would have been sick. That would have been perfect.
Yeah. So how did this?
Because Cartoon Network and Adult Swim are the same.
So here you are, 12 years old, and all your persistence finally pays off to the point where you found yourself on a conference call with some big players of Adult Swim. How did that go? What was their reaction? What do you remember of that meeting? Because that is a pretty wild accomplishment for a 12-year-old kid to make back in the day on his parents' landline.
Yeah. It was dial-up internet days. It was, I remember I was so nervous. Oh my God, I was nervous when I finally got the call. It was they answered this is Bob Smith from, head, talent acquisitions. This is Steven, whoever from, lead sound design. This is, and they were all, giving me their names and their titles. And I was in the back of my, I had been at this for at this point I've been calling them for 2 or 3 months straight. And I kind of I got so nervous because I was oh shit, I didn't think this was going to happen. I got the call. I'm now what do I do?
Right.
I'm hey guys, I want to work for you. And
oh my gosh.
They didn't even, that was the funniest part, was they didn't even ask my age at first because I changed my voice to sound more adult. And then they asked me to start doing voices, and I did my normal kid voice, and then I did a bunch of other voices. And then they were they stopped me and they're wait, how old are you? I was I'm 12. There was a collective silence. And that was the most at that point in my life, that was the most nervous I had ever been. Hearing that dead silence. I was oh my God.
Wow. So
thinking back on it now, I was crazy. I was crazy.
Let me get to a couple super chats here. First of all, Robbie Gilchrist, the Dogecoin Dolphin, coming in. Robbie Gilchrist, a absolute legend in the Dogecoin community and in these parts, coming in big with a Canadian super chat of $69.99. Thank you so much, Robbie. Really appreciate that. Appreciate that so much. And then I'm gonna wait, Nick, to get to the second one because it's. We were having some network connections. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, there's this little bit of lag, but I think we're this might happen for a minute or two. So I just want to make sure that I don't get to the second big super chat until the lagging is done. So we'll just see, just make sure it's out of the way. Yeah, it's still giving us a little bit of business here. This doesn't happen nearly as much as it used to, but last time it happened, I don't know if you're on the show or not, it went on for about 2 minutes, and then about 2-3 minutes max, but then it stopped, and then we were good. But I'm not seeing, are you seeing any lag in your end anymore?
It was, but I think it's back.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing a strong signal now back as well. So, anyway, there's another lag. Let me see here. If there's anything else I can do on my end. Yeah, I think we just got to wait this out. I think it's going to be this way for a couple minutes, Nick. I'm going to put something in chat too. Sorry. A bit of lag will resolve in a minute. Yeah, so
it looks like it's back for me. Is it not connected on your end?
Now it's back. It was just intermittently seeing some lagging there. So anyway, big super chat from a big supporter. And this is from a guy that has been tuning. He started tuning in. He started tuning in every night even before I got my YouTube channel, and I was doing live streams every night on Twitter. And that is Johnny Yabera. Johnny Yabera coming in with a $100 super chat. Thank you so much for that generous super chat, both you guys and you and Robbie Gilchrist. Thank you so much, Johnny Yabera, coming with a super chat of $99.99. Have been recovering after hospitalization due to medical issues, but I'm listening now as much as I can. Miss you all. Baby Doge. Listen to this, guys. Listen to this. Baby Doge put me over 1 million plus holding. Doge and ETH all the way. P.S. Tiger King just for kicks. Smiley face. So, wow. Huge news. And we love to see success of our community members here. I love it. I love it. So, Johnny Yabera.
Get well soon, Johnny.
And get well soon. We are all pulling for you, Johnny Yabera, each and every one of us. And you are a great guy. And if anybody deserves the crypto success that you have recently embarked on, it is you. So congratulations. That is major. Johnny Yabera reaching over $1 million in earnings from Baby Doge. And I know that, like myself, Johnny and I have talked in the past, Doge and ETH are our main staples that we support long-term, long haul. So what a trooper.
Doge is moving right now, too.
Yeah, I just got caught wind of that as well. So finally Doge is making some moves after our Doge has been sleeping a lot lately. So this is really nice to see. Doge is up 2.5% just in the last 30 minutes here, and hopefully we continue to keep going. Johnny says it's lagging because I'm back. Stormer says the lag is nostalgic. Robbie Gilchrist says we love lag. Lag equals good. You guys are awesome. Can hear fine, says Erectile Reptile. Little pump with Doge now, above 24 cents again. Andrea K says, yes, we are pumping, we are moving, we are grooving. Awesome, awesome. Doge is waking up. Beef Supreme in the house. The Beef Supreme is calling for the surge, calling for the pump. And we are moving, grooving. A couple people are calling for a Doge chart. Just a moment. I will swap it out and get one going, guys. Just give me a moment. And I will get one together. Do you have...
Doge is almost double Bitcoin on the 2 hour.
Yeah, why don't you just talk about what you're seeing on a chart on your end while I get this up, Nick?
Yeah. Right now, Doge is up, at least on Binance, almost 4%. Bitcoin up 2% on the 2 hour chart. Right now, looks like a full market recovery. And I don't think we've cleared the 24 hour yet, but we're just about to. We should be, everything is pretty much rising up right now. I don't know where all this money's coming from. Hopefully Russia. They owe us. So hopefully we can see some of this lost money back, and we'll see how it goes over the night. I think we're gonna have a kind of a briefer show tonight, but I'm sure Steven will be up.
Oh
maybe,
yeah,
during after hours. But,
yeah, I might.
Yeah, you might wanna stick on this one. This might keep going.
Yeah. And we are seeing just things pick up across the board, across the market right now. And it's what are we seeing on Bitcoin right now? Let me see. Bitcoin's up too. Bitcoin's up 1.5% in the last half hour, which is actually very substantial given its monster market cap. So this is a great trajectory. I'm not sure what to attribute it to, but it's great news. It's very welcome news, especially since things have been pretty stagnated, to say the least, lately.
I would hope that there is, like I mentioned on a previous show, that there is some sort of positive price movement going to the middle of July, where we should be seeing the Tesla earnings report come out in a couple weeks. So hopefully, as the days roll on here, I hope that we see a general overall market increase with news on Tesla. I don't know if Tesla has as much pull as it once did with crypto. That remains to be seen. But I think as soon as that earnings report comes out, we're going to see for sure what's really going on, behind the scenes at some of the largest companies in the world.
Yeah, definitely. So Scott says Tiger King up over 20% since the show started. So the Steele effect carrying over into the Tiger King coin. That's actually a pretty nice margin, up 20% just in the last little over an hour since we've gone on the air, Nick.
Actually, that's not true. It's
okay,
24 hours. It's up 66% in the. Oh, did he say in the past hour?
Just since we've been on the air.
Okay.
He's saying it's gone up to over 20%, just an additional 20% just since we've been on the air.
Yeah, well, in 24 hours, it's up, 65 or almost 66%. The trading volume, which is what's really impressive, it's still, this thing is still immensely cheap. Trading volume in the past 24 hours is only 600 grand, but it's up 1,250%. The trading volume is huge on this thing right now.
On Tiger Coin?
Yeah, Tiger King.
Okay.
Its rank is 2,700. This is hilarious. Its rank is 2,769.
Oh my gosh.
On the crypto coin market cap list.
Now there you go, folks. Sometimes truth is genuinely stranger than fiction. Can you hear me, Nick?
You broke up, but I got you now.
You got me. Okay. Yeah. So sometimes truth really is stranger than fiction. Tony C says Tiger King is mooning. This is, a few different things are mooning. So right now we're seeing, finally a nice uptick begin to take place on the entire general crypto market right now. A welcome change of pace, but before that, there was just a few fringe altcoins that were doing well, and pretty much everything else was either trading sideways or going down. So now it seems like most everything's on the up and up, from all the way from silly altcoin projects all the way to Bitcoin. So maybe this is the beginning of a bull ride. What do you say?
I remarked on our previous show that the bull run that we were in prior to where we are now was a very, very abbreviated bull run. It is uncharacteristically quick for considering how previous bull runs have gone.
Yep.
And we got hit with all of this bad news kind of right in the middle of it, which kind of killed it.
Right.
So I believe, anytime it's like a pressure valve, right? With market order flow and money flow. As soon as, if you put a cap on that and you kill the pressure, it's going to build up again, and it's going to blow the cap off. And generally speaking, this is kind of unprecedented to have like this big downturn in the market mid bull run. But if it comes back, it's going to come back harder than it did before. Like the pressure buildup is going to be, because it's going to take even the pressure is going to be even greater to surpass where it was prior.
Right.
So I think if we see almost like a second bull run within the bull run, it will be even greater than what we saw prior.
I agree.
Which would be huge.
I agree that that's definitely a possibility. In which case, going forward with that, where do you think that puts Dogecoin by, let's say, October-ish, Nick, in your humble opinion?
Well, I believe Doge will be at least $1, by year end, if we continue on the trajectory we're at. Now, that's not to say a piece of news couldn't come out that could just kill this whole thing. But I do believe that, we're going to start, Upshot seems to think that we're going to see this big, massive, upswing in the fall, like October, November. I think it'll happen sooner than that. I really do. I think we're going to start seeing stuff really start to move here pretty soon in the next few weeks.
I hope you're right. I'm not sure what to make of it in terms of which direction the market is going. I don't have a prediction right now. Many times I do. I'm just kind of on the fence. I think you're a bit more optimistic than me, but by all means, I am hoping that your assessment is the correct one. I'm very, very much hoping so. We definitely have more than enough to go on to think that may be the case. But here Nick is saying that we may be on the precipice of an entire market bull run to be strong, much strong. Would you say it's likely to be much stronger than our previous bull run?
I think it would have to be just based off of money flow and the way markets move. If we see a bull runception, if you will, we would have to go higher, and we would have to, it would have to be bigger than prior, because what are people looking for? They're looking for higher highs, right?
Right.
Now that does correlate to lower lows, once that all is said and done.
Right.
But ultimately what you're hoping for is a settling somewhere in between.
Right.
But I do believe that if we are going to see a bull runception, that the next pop of this kind of delayed bull cycle that we've been in is going to surpass where we were before. Now, by how much, I can't say. I don't know. But it would make, to me, I would think that new all-time highs would have to be significantly more than previous.
Yes, I would tend to agree with that. Bangs Dunn says Dogecoin spiked right at midnight. Let's see how the next 24 hours plays out. Midnight for your time, my friend. Nick and I are on Central Standard, but we are going to be at midnight in about 40 minutes. Another thing I wanted to discuss that's unrelated to crypto is, so Bill Gates is back at it again, and I don't know if you heard about this, Nick, but he has been advocating for a type of fake meat to take over the meat market. So both Jeff Bezos and Gates are backing this fake meat and dairy that's made from fungus. And it's predominantly through this a Chicago-based company called Nature Find, FYND.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and
Soylent Green is people.
yeah. So how this ties in to Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates is they are actively calling for a food sustainability movement for this particular line to predominantly take a big chunk out of the meat and dairy industry in hopes of
not for them, right? They're going to keep eating bald eagles and quail eggs, right?
yeah, not for them. Only for the plebs.
Only for the poors.
Yes.
Bill Gates, by the way, Bill Gates is going to jail.
You think so?
Yeah, bro. Dude was on Epstein's plane and all this kind of crazy crap. His wife left him because he was... I don't know what he was doing. I always say this about mega ultra rich guys who act weird like this. I don't know what you're up to, ultra mega rich dudes, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates.
Yeah.
But I know you're up to something. I don't like it. I don't know what it is. But it's gonna eventually it's gonna catch up to you eventually. I don't know. I think Bill Gates is going to jail. It's at some point.
Well, I don't think so. I think he's even if he's done more than enough things to warrant landing in there for the rest of his life. I just think he's too powerful and too well moneyed to ever land himself there. Don't you think?
I mean, you could say that about Jeffrey Epstein too. He had, billions. Not as many billions as Bill Gates, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Bill Gates is an interesting one. He's like one of the richest people in the world. I don't know. The world is so topsy-turvy nowadays. If this was, even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I'd probably say you're right. But now, with the way things are, I don't know. I think the justice system is running on overtime, and they're tracking people down. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he's done. I don't know. I think it's odd that he was friends with a child sex trafficker.
Yeah, but arguably, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but arguably that a lot of people that have been well connected over the years have rubbed shoulders with him. It doesn't mean that they're directly involved in the underpinnings of his scrupulous operations. But
it was enough for his wife to be like, peace out.
Right.
Right. But and from what, I don't know, just from what I've heard, through the grapevine of, some of I have a few friends. I have a friend who is a billionaire, actually.
Okay.
And I've heard things about Bill Gates that he's into some interesting things.
Yep. I wouldn't doubt that. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
It is. I mean, I think it is no doubt curious timing to his divorce. It's very curious timing. So. Do you think that, and now this is just speculation, you guys, but do you think that Bill Gates ever took a trip on the Lolita Express?
He did. Mm-hmm. It's proof. I mean, he's on the flight logs. That's what that's the whole crux of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm. So you think? So you think when this got investigated further, this might have been prompted the divorce?
Yeah, I'm sure there was much more to it than that. From what I know, they weren't like a real couple for years. Like they weren't like a traditional mom and dad for decades now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. So What do you make of this idea? To me, I think this could have the idea of replacing real meat and dairy products with synthetic formats of it. I don't think that we're even have scratched the surface on what the health ramifications would be long term for a large society of people consuming this kind of stuff. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I'm sure you're familiar with Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
Right? Beyond Burger. That was the new thing. Everybody, go to Burger King, get yourself a Beyond Burger. Mm-hmm. What a lot of people failed to realize with plant, essentially what they use to make Beyond Burgers is plant fat, which, by the way, is horrible for you, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of estrogen in a Beyond Burger is insane. It's per patty 30 milligrams. And
wow.
I know people don't have a scale for that. The traditional hormone replacement level for a woman going through menopause is I think it's 2.5 milligrams per day. So you have 30 milligrams of estrogen, in one patty, and some of those burgers were two patties. It's insane. It is absolutely crazy that people would eat this stuff. I don't know about this new fungus burger.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll stick to my traditional beef because I know Beef Supreme would want me to, and it's just delicious.
I agree and I'm aware of everything you just said there. I completely concur. Erectile Reptile coming in with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Erectile. Nick and Steve, if you were forced to sell all your Doge right now and invest in another crypto, which crypto would you all choose? Fact, until 2015, it was illegal to dance in Japan after midnight. That is funny. Wow, that is funny. Until 2015, it was illegal to dance in Japan after midnight. So I didn't know Japan as a country was leading a real life version of Footloose up until a few years ago. Did you know that, Nick?
I had no idea, and I'm about to go to Japan. So
wow,
good to know.
well, now you can dance after midnight safely.
Thank God.
That's such a
I'm
weird.
Gonna be ripping the discos apart.
That's such a weird law, because most people that are into dancing at night, it's usually involves doing so after midnight.
Funny, because in Japan apparently you couldn't dance after midnight, but you could pass out on the street drunk, and that's okay.
Yeah. Bizarre. Oh, but
so what would you buy?
I don't know.
Let's keep it simple. Let's just say you could only buy one. You have to sell all your Doge, and you have to buy one other crypto. That's it.
I'd throw it on the ETH.
I would do the same exact thing.
Yeah, I'd throw it on the ETH, Ethereum, all in.
On the ETH.
Yeah,
I'd have millions of dollars worth of ETH, and I would just ride that out.
Oh yeah.
Considering I have 0 ETH right now.
Oh, do you really?
I know. People are always shocked when I tell them that. Yeah,
wow.
I have no ETH. I probably, you know what? Once I hop off the BNB train, whenever that evens out, I will probably buy some ETH.
Right.
I've got about 80 or 90 grand into BNB, so once that hits an even keel, I'll get some ETH.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly where I'd put it all, guys. That's exactly where I'd put it all. So Doge is riding right at 24 cents right now. It could be an interesting night, It could be an interesting night, and if things continue to ascend, I will have to come on for an after hours stream, guys. Yeah, I don't know if you had anything more to add to this one, Nick.
Yeah, no, I mean, Andrea K just asked me
Sure.
if I'm going to buy a Shiba. No, I will not be buying a Shiba Inu. Primarily one, because for those who don't know, this might sound hilarious if you've never heard me tell this before, but I'm actually allergic to dogs. Most dogs. I know there's a handful of breeds that are like hypoallergenic, but that, and currently I live in a tiny condo. That is eventually going to change. However, I am looking. I've always had cats my whole life, and my girlfriend really wants to get 2 cats. She wants to name them Rick and Morty, and we're looking right now at either F1 Savannah cats, which are really big house cats, but I really want to get an ocelot. An ocelot is a exotic. I want to essentially become Joe Exotic, minus the meth and gay boyfriends.
Minus the meth and gay boyfriends.
Yeah. Everything else, though.
Yeah. I was about to read Bang Stun's latest comment, but Mr. Kellogg was...
I actually knew that. I knew
Yeah.
that. I watched a whole YouTube video about that, actually. It was weird.
There's... I don't want to get into that topic.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
I was about to go on a tangent about it, but I think
That's why Kellogg's cereal was invented. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. There's a movie that referenced it.
It's so weird.
So strange. So funny. But I mean, I think there is something to be said for abstaining from that while you are sick anyway. Like, because it does have a...
I perform some of my best acts when I'm sick.
I don't want to go down this rabbit hole anymore. I'm just going to leave it. I'm like, I'm just going to leave this one. Hector the Dude says, they just plugged the miners back in slowly. China has a free ticket into the USA to use America's energy. Once they have to mine all the Bitcoin, they'll just send right over to China. What are your thoughts on that comment? Seems a little far-fetched, but who knows?
Miners, China. I think what he's getting at is that the miners from China are moving over here.
Yeah.
And they're going to send the Bitcoin back over to China. They're going to essentially use America's electricity to mine.
Right.
And transfer the earnings back over to China. I mean, hey, listen. All right. Like, if that's the plan, that's the plan. I mean, sure. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. It doesn't matter to me. Send the money back to China. I don't care. As long as it keeps the market healthy.
Yeah. I mean, because it's not obviously like a national currency, it's a global one. I mean, would that even have a significant impact? Like in a negative way?
No, I think what we saw, the dip in the market, was an impact on the actual, like the hash rate.
Yes.
Bitcoin's hash rate. That's what it was. That's what it was. It was, and he kind of has a point there, to the sense that the miners were unplugged from China.
Yeah.
Now they're being plugged back in America, and yeah, I mean, these Chinese companies that are setting up shop here in America now, of course, they could just send their earnings back over to China to be cashed out there. That's a possibility. But as long as the network is maintained, I think that's what we should all be striving for, is a more stable Bitcoin network, a more stable, Dogecoin network's very stable. These are things we should all strive for. It doesn't matter what country is doing it. In fact, it's probably best that it's not we're not reliant on China,
right,
to keep the network maintained. Like that's huge. So yeah, if the Chinese want to come over here and mine and use our energy to do it, they're gonna pay taxes for the energy that they're using. Unless they're doing it with solar power, which is even better. Cool. I think it's a win-win either way.
I would lean to a big agree on that. Look to Leap says, does it matter if they use our grid?
I mean, it matters in the sense that they're using our energy, but they're you can't unless they're trying to do it like stealing cable back in the 80s, which you
right.
You can't with the amount of energy it takes to mine Bitcoin, right? I'm talking about in the factory setting, like hundreds or thousands of cards running. You can't steal that amount of power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't do that. You'll get caught, or you'll blow yourself up or something. Like
yeah.
So, they're gonna have to pay for it. It's not free. And if they're paying for electricity, they're going to be paying the, power company. Power company makes money, taxes, whatnot. Or if the route that I hope they go, which is what I proposed as a weird conspiracy theory a couple weeks ago, that they struck a deal with Elon. Guess who produces the most amount of solar cells in America? Elon Musk. I believe that he struck a deal with these Chinese miners to come over here to sell them cheap solar panels to mine Bitcoin.
Right.
This is just my personal theory.
Right. Yeah, I think that seems very probable. One more thing I wanted to get to for sure is just wanted to touch on the absolute explosion we've seen this week on Doge spinoffs, whether it be Baby Doge and now as if it couldn't get any more derivative, right? And then there's Mini Doge. But both of these are doing extraordinarily well. I'm pulling up a little charting here, Nick, on both of them through PooCoin. Maybe if you could take a look too, and you get your thoughts on what's going on here. But Baby Doge is kind of it went absolutely parabolic the day before yesterday, and right now it's showing, from what I'm seeing, some consolidation. And
there's some mini Shiba too.
I'm sure there is.
Oh my God! Look at Mini Doge. Holy cow!
Yeah. Check. So let's talk about Mini Doge. Mini Doge absolutely has been parabolic, absolutely exploding. What are you seeing on your end with the chart?
Well, if you would have got in on that on July 3rd, which is when it opened.
Yeah.
I don't know what the X is on that. I don't have because it's on freaking PooCoin. They don't have measuring tools on PooCoin, so I can't measure it. I hate that. It's done through TradingView, but I can't use the tool. I can't see what you would have done to your money, but it looks like you would have 3x'd, I think. At least, maybe.
At least.
More.
I think it'd be more like
closer to 4x.
Yeah, 4x at this point, right?
Yeah. Mini Doge would have been an amazing quick flip, I think. I didn't know. There's so many. This is gonna go on, guys. The people who get bent out of shape about these Doge knockoffs, as I call them, you might as well just get used to it. Yeah. As long as there are smart chains, there's gonna be ripoffs of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, because you can name. There's no copywriting in crypto. It's open source. You can name your thing whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
So just get used to the Doge knockoffs, guys. They're going to be around. If you're a market player and you want to make a quick buck, and and you want to hold some real risk, you can jump in these things and you can 4x your money in a day. You can also lose everything.
You'll also lose everything, and that's what we've always said. I've never been against BSC trading. Obviously, some people are doing really well. Speaking of which, Johnny Ibarra coming in with a big $50 super chat with a Shiba Inu jumping up and down with fireworks going off. I love it. I love that. So thank you so much for your generous super chat, Johnny Ibarra. Here's Johnny Ibarra coming in. He, as a man who is now sitting over in over $1 million in earnings off of baby Doge. Here's a really good example, Nick, of high risk, high reward. And you and I have always had a very moderate position on BSCs. We're not entirely against them, but we also think it's important that people understand what they're getting themselves into, understand that they should need to do the extra homework, and take that self-accountability to look for warning signs for rugs, things of this nature. And then also on top of that, it's most important that when you start investing in BSCs, it's more than okay to do so. Just understand what you're getting yourself into. Just understand that this sector of the crypto market is much higher risk, but it's also much higher reward. And that's the bottom line. It's higher risk, high reward. So just be mindful of that when stepping into this. So for me, it's all about context and the investors just understanding what they're getting themselves into. What do you say?
I completely agree. And Johnny Ibarra is a perfect example of a guy who could make money doing quick BSC flips. I think, listen, if you want to have stress in your life and you can deal with that stress, by all means, go make your money. I am thankful to be in a position that I have chosen wisely, and I do not live with stress in my life, or at least I try not to. On a hilarious note, I just saw a very funny edited picture of Matt Wallace as one of Joe Exotic's boyfriends. I am going to send this to you right now.
Oh, this was such an inevitable meme, wasn't it? This is such an inevitable meme.
It really was.
The Matt Wallace Tiger King memes are going to be out of control from here on out. I mean, this stuff really writes itself.
Yeah. I love you, Matt, but this is you definitely you did this one to yourself. I will continue watching Final Stand. I've been watching Final Stand since the beginning, but I'm also gonna laugh when I see pictures like this.
Yeah. I mean, it really it really sets itself up. I mean,
yeah.
I love it. Beef Supreme saying, "Surge me, baby, one more time, Doge." I love that.
We're going right now.
We are cruising, man.
An hour.
Yeah, we're cruising pretty nicely. Mad Foz coming in saying it's actually, he talking in regards to mini Doge. Mad Foz says it's actually closer to 60x since launch. So thank you for the clarification on that, Mad Foz. These are just wild numbers. Just incredible. 60.
That's what I'm saying. I wish I could draw. Do you have the same problem with PooCoin.app, right? You can't. There's no tool.
I'm sorry, what about Poo app?
You can't, there's no, it uses TradingView as its, to view everything.
Yes.
But there's no tools. So you can't draw, you can't, bring out a measure, you can't bring out maybe I'm.
No, there should be a tool in there somewhere from what I recall. So, yeah, I know Matt Foz. He's a regular viewer of the show. And
my God, I had the bar collapsed.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've seen that tool in there.
I had the bar collapsed. Okay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's way more than 60%. Or it's 19,279% increase in 2 days. So yeah, that's
I'm
100.
Here, let me try to look for a baby or a mini Doge chart.
Yeah, it's on PooCoin.app.
Okay.
Yeah, 19,000% increase in 2 days. That's it's crazy. It's still going too.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not slow. This one, right now, it's not slowing down. It could all reverse. It could all reverse pretty quickly with BSCs. You got to really keep an eye on them because they're even. You think the regular crypto market's volatile? The BSC world is volatility on steroids. So I'm just looking for the mini Doge charting on that.
Can't. It's the graph or the thing is so huge. I can't even I can't get it right on the money. Like 27,000%. I don't know. It's something crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the same thing you are. I'm having a hard time putting the exacts on it just because of how gnarly it is. Yeah, but this thing is it keeps ascending, man. It keeps breaking its own all-time high like every hour right now. It's like wild, just wild. And Matt Foz says that's in just 4 days. And I know Matt Foz is a long-time viewer of this show, and I know he's keeps a pretty close eye on the altcoin scene and these spin-offs and things like that.
Somebody just asked me, Dylan, Nick, did I get my car yet? My McLaren. I have not. My plan was to go down there after I got back from Florida, but I'm actually waiting on a few things. I got to wait on I don't have a place to keep it, so I'm waiting for a spot to open up at this garage by me. So I need to talk to them first, and then I have the customization company that has to build the car. I have to get with them too. So buying a $200,000 vehicle is not it's not a quick thing, or at least you don't want it to be, because you can run into a lot of issues.
Yeah, you don't want it to be.
It's like buying a house on wheels.
Yes. Yeah, and Bitcoin is pumping right now too, guys. The whole market's pumping all the way from the alts to the big boys. So this is we could have a fun week ahead of us if this keeps going. This could be the beginning of maybe, Nick, this is the beginning of the big bull run you were alluding to.
I told you, man. Mid-July.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-July, we would know. We would know for sure. We're gonna find out. And I'm telling you, with that Tesla earnings call is going to be absolutely massive. If they show any, and keep in mind, Tesla. Let's talk about what we already know, right? We know Tesla owns Bitcoin, right? The Tesla purchased its Bitcoin from Coinbase because of regulatory reasons. Now we also know that Coinbase recently added Dogecoin, right? So now that opens Tesla up to the ability to buy Doge. They couldn't before because they didn't have an exchange to do it on legally. Now we'll find out. We will find out mid-July or towards the end of July if Tesla has Dogecoin.
Right.
We're going to know, and we'll know 100%. And the crazy part is, Coinbase added Doge, when it was kind of high, right? And it might be, if Tesla has Dogecoin, it might be in their best interest to pump the hell out of the fact that they've got it, just to increase their holdings, because they might be down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right. I do know what you mean.
Just based off of the timing of it all.
I just got that meme. Meme he sent me. That was inevitable. Like it was that was like such a no-brainer. Like of course people are going to do that. Of course they are.
Yeah. Great pick.
Yes.
Matt looking very stoic.
Yes. So Beef Supreme, of course, is saying big surge this week. All of crypto. Nick Ballz knows things. And knows is with a Z.
I like it. It's Nick Ballz approved.
It's Nick Ballz approved. Yeah, and look at Doge right now. We are comfortably sitting over 24 cents now, at about 24.15. Yeah, you're right. At this rate, I don't see why we can't be back to a quarter, maybe within an hour from now.
Yeah.
You know?
Good.
Yeah. So maybe this is the beginning of something big. And right now is right now we're looking at is pretty exciting when I'm looking at the overall trends on the market. And then obviously we're seeing complete parabolic explosions right now with some of the altcoins, and then we're seeing an overall just big market increase right now. Bitcoin, you guys, is pumping. It's over 2% increase just in the last hour, which may not sound like a lot to the casual observer, but for a coin with the astronomical market cap of Bitcoin to pump over 2% within an hour is very significant. What do you say, Nick?
Oh yeah, we're talking about billions of dollars.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely, it's huge. What is that? I'm trying to do the update on CoinMarketCap. Looks like to be back up to 650 billion. Keep in mind, guys, it wasn't too long ago that we were talking, Bitcoin had $1 trillion market cap. So if it can claw its way back up there, I mean, what do they say about the large boats float? I don't know what the term is when the all tides raise, or tides raise all ships, or something. I don't know what they.
I know. Oh my gosh, I know the figure of speech you're talking about, but it's eluding me right now as well.
Yeah. So
all boats float with the tides, ride tides.
Yeah, exactly.
No, just made that up. Erectile Reptile coming in with $5 super chat. Do you think ETH will ever pass the price of Bitcoin? This is a great question, and thanks for bringing it up, Erectile Reptile. Do I think it will? I don't know. Do I think it's possible? Yes. And something that I've talked about a few times before on this show, where just recently, about 3 weeks ago, Vitalik Buterin, in an interview, said, where does he think the top cryptos, what does he think the top cryptos are going to be in the future? And he said that Dogecoin minimum of number 3, if not number 2. Now, why would the creator of Ethereum say about Dogecoin? Nick, why do you think the predominant creator of Ethereum would say, if not about Dogecoin, if not number 2? Do you think he's saying that because he's assuming that Ethereum is going to be number 3 or number 1? So
I know that Vitalik is a intensely smart man. He is not a dum-dum.
Right.
He's not a weirdo either. He's a cool dude. He's cooler than Charles Hoskinson, that's for sure. I think he knows that pretty soon, they're going to launch ETH 2.0. There is a pairing. I think people fail to realize that Vitalik doesn't just like Doge. Vitalik loves Doge, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's said this multiple times in multiple interviews. And by the way, he wears Doge branded stuff all the time. Like, he doesn't have to. He could wear ETH stuff, He could wear whatever he wants, but he chooses to wear Doge apparel constantly. This guy loves Doge, and he loves the community. And you know why? Because he's just a genius, goofy guy. And that is what that's what the original community was filled with. It was filled with like real brilliant, goofy people. That's what Doge is all about. Really smart people coming together who are a bit eccentric. And it's fun, right? Like, that's the whole point. And I believe that the pairing or the collaboration or the whatever you want to call it between Doge and Ethereum will be unstoppable in the possibly near future. It might not even take that long.
Right.
It could be within the next, several years.
I agree. He raised a really good point, because Anthony Buterin is not only a guy that likes Doge, he loves Doge. And now we know that this pairing is imminent. It's already pretty much there as far as the technology goes. Right now, it's just being fine-tuned. And I think there's a pretty good probability over the long term that we will see a dethroning of Bitcoin by Ethereum, where we could be looking someday Ethereum 1, Dogecoin 2, and our store of value Bitcoin number 3. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. In fact, I'll go a step further, and I'd say it's a fair probability. Johnny,
I think go for it.
Go ahead.
I think the day that this happens, because it'll come down to a day, right?
Right.
It's going to happen, it's going to be getting closer and closer and closer, and then one day it'll occur. On that day, the collective sound of these Bitcoin maximalist heads exploding will be enough to move the earth off its axis. It'll whenever ETH I don't think ETH taking over Bitcoin is going to be like a huge shock, but the day that ETH pairs with Doge and brings Doge up with it, and Doge takes over Bitcoin, will be the collective sound of a million heads exploding.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be a triumphant day. It's going to be a very landmark day in crypto history that will never be forgotten. Johnny Ibarra coming with a $10 super chat. Thank you again for that, Johnny, my friend. Bought some mini Doge. Cheers to our stable coins and fun coins. Thank you, my friend, and cheers to you as well. And I think it's going to be, it looks like it's shaping up to be market-wise a fun week all around. Hopefully it continues.
Yeah, I think we're, like I said, if you guys have been listening, like I said before, I believe that July is going to be a catalyst month to something like you've never seen before. And this, right now, tonight, on this show, we are starting to lay the groundwork for Doge to be worth $1. This is where it starts. It begins tonight.
I like that. So yeah, I hope you're right. I think there's a fair probability that it could be like that. So Doge to $1 is not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, folks. And Nick is contending that July is going to shape up to be quite a bull run, and I hope he's right. I really hope he's right. So going into July, if we can get let's say this bull run does shake out the way you think it might, Nick, where do you think that positions the market going into the fall? Because traditionally, I mean, you've been in crypto a long time. Maybe you could share with the audience traditionally what how the market goes in September, October.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up some history here and go back into just Bitcoin and take a look at I don't know, let's just say the last 5 years or whatnot. But yeah, typically, we saw the big boom of 2017, and that run started in November, leading into December. So yeah, I mean, the fall is usually the run up. October,
Yep.
It starts usually in October, run up into December, and a bit of a cool off, going into January, the deep winter months. But yeah, typically that October to December area is where things start to really get wild. So yeah, I mean, we could see that happen again. But I really do hope that we, catch a second pop here, just because it would be so uncharacteristic of what's happened before. And I don't care, you know me, I don't care one way or another, but I like setting new precedents, because I think it flips people's heads. It freaks people out when weird stuff happens when it's not supposed to. This isn't supposed to happen. Doge isn't supposed to be worth $1. Yeah, well, it's happening. So I love just freaking people's minds out. I think it's great.
Freak out the squares, as the old saying goes. We're gonna freak out the squares, man. That's awesome. So, do you still contend, Nick, that Doge $2 is a possibility end of year?
I would say this. I would say that I think if it's gonna go to $1, it'll happen before year end. So yeah, I do. I think it'll happen before the end of the year.
Wow.
That's why I'm just chilling. I'm not doing anything. If I've got enough money in my bank account now to chill for a little bit. If I need to pull some stuff out, I'll pull some B&B if I absolutely have to. That's the first thing on the chopping block. We've talked about this in private before, but B&B is my first sell. But yeah, I'm not getting rid of any of my Doge until we're at least through $1.
I just had a really awful idea for like a corporate gathering conference for Binance. They could have a band assembled that does like all parody songs about Binance and cryptocurrency, and the band would be called the B&B Music Factory.
See, I would have that same conference for Binance, but I would just book Guar.
That would be awesome. Guar. For those of you who aren't familiar, Guar is like a thrash band that plays really heavy, aggressive music, that has a stage show that's extremely explicit and super over the top. WWF
just shows up and they're eviscerating the Pope on stage.
Yeah, it's just super gory, over the top. It's like WWE meets like a horror film.
I saw Guar on Halloween with
Yeah.
Cradle of Filth, and it was one of the craziest shows. I got to hang out with Bam Margera and Ryan Dunn. This was before he passed away.
Oh.
On Halloween.
Oh,
I've
wow.
had a lot of amazing life events happen to me on Halloween. I met my current girlfriend on Halloween. I lost my virginity on Halloween.
Did you really?
I did. And this is okay. I'm going to tell this story really quick before we go, because this is incredible. I lost my virginity on Halloween, and I'm not going to reveal the age that it was. I'll tell you off air if you really want to know. But I was a young man.
2020.
Yes. Yeah. We'll put it like this. I didn't have a car. I had to ride a bicycle. And I had to ride my bike all the way across town. And I go to this girl's house, and it was the most incredible 30 seconds of her life, followed by the most incredible 30 seconds of her life again, because I wanted to redeem myself, and I didn't.
Okay.
But on the way home, I was with my buddy. I dragged my buddy out there with me to emotional support. And so we're riding our bicycles back. It's 3:00 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm starving. We stop at Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm not gonna say my age, but I was a young man, and we go in. We're like, we'll just get some donuts. This will be great. We go into Dunkin' Donuts, and they're like, we're closing. We're giving. How many donuts would you want? I'm like, whatever. They gave us for free a garbage bag full of donuts because they were closing for the night and they were going to throw them all away. It was the most amazing thing.
Whoa.
So me and my buddy, I just lost my virginity, and I'm riding down the center of Main Street. There's no cars on the road with a garbage bag full of donuts on my back.
Wow.
I was like, it can't get any better than this. I'm like, I've peaked. This is it. This is as good as it's gonna get.
Wow, there he is,
It was
man.
amazing.
Just the jubilant 60-second man with a garbage bag full of jelly rolls.
It was incredible.
So
Steven.
how many of those did you actually get through?
I don't remember. I don't know. I probably made myself sick. I don't know. I probably ate. I mean, I was still a kid. You know, you could eat 1,000,000 donuts and be fine the next day. I don't know. I ate so many donuts. I was like, I know. Well, and my friend I was with is actually diabetic, so he couldn't have his. I had to really put in the work that night, figuratively and literally.
So, what is your favorite kind of donut?
I'm a Boston cream guy. I really like Boston cream donuts, like chocolate on top with the cream filling.
Oh yeah.
That's my jam.
I like what I believe they call the French cruller. Are you familiar with that one?
I think I know what you're talking about. Let me just. Yes, I know. Okay, yeah, the spinny one.
Yeah, they kind of look like little pinwheels, and they're very light and flaky, with a glaze on them.
Yep. Yeah.
Those things, man. Something
Very
about
airy.
those things. They're very airy and they're very they're flaky, but at the same time they're moist. I don't know. There's just a science to those little suckers. They're so good.
You could eat like 10,000 of those things.
Yeah,
they
so
weigh
light.
like nothing.
Yeah, they're so light. Yeah, those are my favorites. On the occasion that I would indulge in some Dunkin' Donuts, it'd be with those, man. I do like the Boston cream, but being lactose intolerant, it's not really on the books anymore.
Can't do that.
Yep. So yeah, and I guess next to that, I think just like a good classic cake donut's fine with me, with like some chocolate frosting. That's fine.
They're good.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, definitely some Guar fans in the chat I saw earlier. right when we brought up Guar, like the chat kind of lit up.
When I was in high school, man, I was a Guar fanatic. I saved I still have it. Probably, I guarantee you it doesn't fit me. I think I was 15 when I first saw Guar.
Yeah.
And I wore all white, and I saved the outfit. I still have it.
You still have it?
Yep.
Does it have like fake blood all over it and stuff?
Oh yeah, it looks like it's tie-dyed. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Man, let's see. Scott's like Tiger King about to test the resistance. So yeah, we will. I imagine tonight will not be the last we will speak of Tiger King coin.
You said they made me a GIF.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's a GIF of one of our followers and Beef Supreme holding a cake that says, "Congrats on the sex." Thanks, guys. Thanks for that.
Where did that get sent to you? On Twitter?
On Twitter. Yeah. I'm gonna retweet this right now because it's that good.
Nice job, meme lords. We got some pretty good meme lords in the community here.
Yeah, they killed it. But yeah, man, you got anything else?
Nope, I think we're good, man. We going for a couple hours here, but this was a fun show. It was a good show.
Yeah, dude. I think we covered it all. I hope everybody kind of came together and fought through today. I know today was a rough day for a lot of people. I hope we could raise a lot of people's spirits here.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, just take us all in stride, and don't forget to laugh along the way, and laugh. And as we try to all make some money and level up here, don't forget to have a good time and laugh, and not get too. Let's not get too divided amongst our ranks, okay, guys? Let's just let's take it all in stride, and don't forget to have a good time. Well, thanks again, everyone, each and everyone, for joining us. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the support and all the activity in the chat. And thank you so much for the super chats tonight, guys. Really appreciate it. And Johnny Ibarra and Robbie Gilchrist, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it so much. If you haven't already subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe and join our awesome community here. We'd love to have you on board for our continuing ascendance to the moon and beyond. Until next time, guys, this is Steele and Dogecoin millionaire Nick Ballz signing out.
Later, everybody.